They ban it out when they don't have a centaur. They're reliant on some of these fat off laners. You know, they like to stand in the lane. Their start deals well with those, but in this game in particular, they're protecting those are two people. They can remove the silken bow, which is kind of the spell the Mother uses to when they use it on someone they can't hit. They're missing a lot of times and you're in trouble. But Dark allows you to go through. It doesn't really benefit the Broodmother. So in my mind, these three bans definitely oriented like meta heroes, but definitely oriented protecting them.
Yeah, and the Pangolier goes here as well, so again, just another way to deal with those spylines. The Zeus gets taken out by Team Spirit. Crystal Maiden, so mid Snapfire?
Yes, looks like it, unless they want to play it in the... I would assume it's going to be LARP, because I don't remember. Unless they want to do something weird like a core clockwork and offlane clockwork, which is something I've been hoping for ever since they added the batteries that does double them creeps, but no, yeah. I guess I haven't seen it, and I would be very, so I'm gonna possibly a offlane Snapfire, but clockwork in the...
Would you like to see, for Team Spirit, would you like to see Yutaro pick up the Kunkka up against this Broodmother? Again, just being able to... We've talked about the Kunkka Broodmother matchup in the past, that the Kunkka doesn't have to leave the lane against the Broodmother. He has good cleanup with the Tidebringer when the Spylines do start to come out, but when in the actual lane, you know, the damage that you put out against the Broodmother, you have a decent amount of control. And you can even roam around to contest when the Broodmother decides that, okay, this lane's a little bit too strong for me to play into the Kunkka. You know, you move over to maybe into the safe lane to try and push down a tower, and the Kunkka just follows and keeps applying pressure to the Brood and not letting the other team use that Broodmother to apply any map control. Is that something that you'd like to see Team Spirit maybe look towards picking up?
And after a long list of reasons why you should pick a Kunkka, I'm gonna say the main reason that I'm gonna say no is that Team Spirit pick a Kunkka, you have a Snapfire mid and Kunkka carry. How are you ever gonna take down the tower? Crystal Maiden and the Clockwork and the Snapfire as well. Even the Kunkka, they benefit so much from towers being down, and now with the Treant Protector, that's completely out of the question. You need something that is gonna help you either dive super deep, not follow the Broodmother, but dive the enemies, or take down the towers. So that's kind of the approach that you have to take. Also, beating the Broodmother in the lane might not be good. I was thinking maybe Monkey King before I saw the bat. Now definitely not. Treant Protector coming out. You need something to take the towers down. You know, we saw a Wraith King in the previous game on VTune. I wouldn't mind Wraith. I doubt, I haven't seen Yutaro play too many times, but yeah, a hero like that does have the ability to push down a lane. It would be on my top priority list right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see what they want to be going towards. I mean, they've still got a decent amount of reserve time here as well to look through this pick. And yeah, Navi, again, it looks like they do want to be... Like, yeah, and... Maybe, yeah, maybe. I'm just looking as well, yeah, with the Snapfire, you know, having that little shredder, so the lifesteal would just be able to literally shred through heroes with his right click as well. Crystal Maiden with the control. We don't see the Juggernauts that often anymore as well. I think we saw a couple over the Christmas show, but that was just down to being a niche pick in that particular instance. So we did, yeah.
Lursa, pretty good as well. Kind of the same thing. You have a spell that's going to be removing the overgrowth. You kind of would rather build into a BKB than a lifestealer would, and it's kind of more beneficial to you, even though it's a lifestealer, and it gives you a bit more burst potential and roach taking potential. So you don't really have that many options to stay in the lane as you would with the lifestealer, but with you missing off the map, the enemies always kind of have to be checking. The bad thing is you are actually, it's fine. Dire side, the Brood doesn't really control the Roche bit all that well. You're the Radiant side. Radiant, in the early stages of the game, is better at sneaking Roche, not really controlling the Roche area. So I'm kind of liking this pick. I think it's the... none of these heroes are particularly...
Yeah, and you've already got the Crystal Maiden and the Snapfire, with the Crystal Nova and the, like I say, the Lucky the Ursa close that gap off. Whether that Ursa should be able to swipe the Broodmother down before she gets away.
Oh, okay, that's a hero that you don't see too often.
Or ever, like literally ever.
You see,
now select your heroes.
the Lash coming out, it's gonna be a collapse. And that's interesting. The thing about the Troll, I don't like it in this game because you don't have a ton of lockdown. I like Troll when you have a ton of lockdown on your side. Well, in this kind of a game, what you want to do with it is you want to get into unkillable territory, right? Where you have Satanic SNY, like a couple of items, and everyone else is there if they go for you while they're split pushing, and you always know if the entire team is going. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Troll pick here. I think you really need to be an expert not only on the hero, like as a player, but also the entire team needs to know how to play around the Troll, and I just don't have that much faith that they can do it. For me, Team Spirit's lineup, again, easier to execute. Even though last time I thought their lineup was easier to execute, they didn't do it. But I think this time around it's gonna be very tough to secure the victory.
Yeah, and when you were saying you don't like this hero in this instance, you could have just stopped with I don't like this hero. You know, the Troll Warlord, he's not picked up for a reason. To me, you know, he's like, if we're doing tiers of carries, you know, he's in the F tier. He's in the
I disagree. I think I like the Troll. I just think that it's hard to implement into a game, and a lot of it depends on you, right? I think it can work. The thing is that in my mind it's much easier to make it work when every single one of your heroes has a stun. It's not like a ultimate like for the Chain Protector or, but there you kind of have Venge.
My apologies.
You have an offlane Mars and stuff like that. With the Broodmother on your side, you need to play the hero completely different, and everyone on the team needs to understand it. So I'm kind of scared for them. Good thing is they have a Train Protector and Team Spirit. If you bring their Lash down, if you can't really control the map in terms of taking down towers, the Troll can't get so big with the Battle Fury. It can come to territory, and later on down the line, he is a direct.
Yeah, and I suppose as well that at some point you're going to see the Broodmother pick up the Aghanim Scepter as well. So those Spinner Snares are going to start to come out, get the lockdown on the map. That way that in the fights, you know, you are going to be able to keep heroes locked down for longer and longer as the game goes on. And yeah, if the game goes 35-40 minutes, you know, Navi, especially with how they controlled that last game, you know, how well they looked at knowing when they peaked in power, when they were a little bit behind, and how to play the map. I have more confidence in Navi playing the Troll than I would just a Troll being played after seeing that first game.
I still think this last pick from the Lash being big. Mira is about taking down.
He walks himself away. He gets himself out mostly unharmed, and the mostly unharmed is the most important part there. He is going to burn through a little bit of regen to get himself back into lane-worthy health, but you were talking about you've never really seen Collapse play this Snapfire with the Clockwork coming in as well up against the Troll. You know, in this particular matchup, how do you expect this lane to go? Because they've already, you can see they've already eaten away all the trees as well, with the Tree Protector being here. You know, the Quelling Blade coming out from the Snapfire, so they are trying to get as much out of this lane as possible.
I'm thinking Collapse farms what? That's it. He probably doesn't die. There are gonna be some shenanigans being pulled off by Mira, you know, stuff like that, like. But yeah. I don't really see them getting kills unless Malady gets a little bit out of himself, so it's mostly going to be Collapse. I mean, we rarely see this Snapfire just struggle away. Scatter Blast is very nice.
Okay, and what is the core Snapfire build? You know, do you want to be going straight for the shard? You know, Guardians Greaves as well. You know, or maybe a pipe in there somewhere.
The Guardians in this game in particular, you're gonna
Flash and Nicky Cool is being punished for that. Not really missing out on too many hits with that split earth coming up front, but he's still going to be using a lot of regen coming through. You can see that he's down to 1 charge on his bottle. Just going to be going for it looks like the wall. Is it the to make sure he gets the regen? And I suppose, I mean, the bat isn't going to have as hard a time as something like an Ember Spirit here, maybe the Tiny up against the Latrak, but it's still not an easy lane here for the Bat Rider. You know, you're still got to watch out. As soon as that lightning comes out, you've got to be bringing yourself away, because the Splitter won't be too far behind, and it's going to be really hard then if we get thrown down to maybe try to look for. And he caught me monologuing once again. But yeah, it's going to be hard for the Bat, just in terms of the harass that comes up.
Something that you want to have. Otherwise, the build is just no use the fine against Irsa, and the CM that doesn't really work. It's just giving himself a little bit safer.
Yeah, top lane, there is going to be some harass coming out onto Malady once again. Mira, he got cookied in. He was able to drop the cogs as well as the battery sword, but this time Malady going to be able to survive through it. Does have that sal as well if he got too low. The raindrops even coming through mid lane, though. There's going to be a chase down. Nicky Cool, he wants to try and burn him down with the Firefly, the tree toss, but Law will still survive through this. Even with the 2 points into the diabolic Kedic, Nicky Cool taking a lot of damage, but he was able to trade it off bottom lane. Lays, does he want to try and get aggressive onto Yatoro? I mean, Yatoro might try and stack up the right clicks here onto Lays, so Lays does need to be careful about the Fury swipes. And yeah, action all over the map, but doesn't result in any kills just yet.
Yatoro missed only 1 hit on the build, so there you saw there's gonna be an overpower, and you're gonna be taking this. Nice done from Lace to pull back, but he likes to be 1 versus. He doesn't want the CM to be there. That's why Sweden Strong is just focusing on the mid. Because that's where they have the most kill potential, and that is where Spirit need to react.
Yeah, and you can see that obviously Latrak, you know, he knows up against the Bat Rider, so he did want to go, oh, split that's going to be there, but it's actually going to be the rune on the bottom, so it's going to be going the way, or the bounties coming through as well on the map. Is Sweden Strong going to get this before Mapotka? It's going to be a double frostbite comes out, but there's going to be the avalanche as well, so Sweden Strong going to be able to pick up both of them.
Nice money into the pockets of Sweden Strong. He just wants to keep the CM from away from the. And look at how much space it actually plays. You know, this is the goal lead that Yersa established in the first 2 minutes of it. So as soon as Sweden Strong started moving around, it actually opened up quite nicely.
Top lane, they want to get themselves on top of Vichu. Vichu, the cogs are going to be dropped as well, but Mira, he needs to get himself out of this because the danger is actually going to be Vichu. He's turning around with the right clicks to have enough damage. The battery shield's going, and Mira, he will be able to walk himself out of this one. Vichu happily trapped in there with the clockwork, just saying, okay, that free kill for me, I'll take that all day long.
I'm surprised Vichu didn't get a sniff in this. That's kind of weird, because there are gonna be some spells being spammed by Spirit, and Troll Warlord is naturally a hero that kind of struggles in. So he has the raindrop, it's nice, but this thing
So this time Marty's going to get caught out. Mira though inside the cogs. It's going to be the rotation. Nicky Cool. They're going to try and make a move. What's he got here on the back rider to try and close that gap? It's only going to be the wind lace. Anything to slow down onto collapse. He's not going to be able to get himself away from this one. Nicky Cool, he doesn't even need to use a lasso. He's just going to tick down to the Firefly, and Nicky Cool, he gets to the kill. Didn't have the mana for the Firefly, excuse me, for the lasso after the Firefly. So good job he could get the kill without it.
Nicky Cool really isn't putting any emphasis. Our last time you were against the Dragon Knight and you just completely abandoned the lane. This time at least you're gonna have the Tree and Protector, but one more move like that and Laurel, once he gets level 8, he'll get Diabolic Edict, another point as well. The tower is just gone, so
yeah.
Nicky will have to be a little bit more careful though. For now it's okay because Navi, they brought the Tine into the mid lane, they used the living armor, and the tower is gonna be in healthy territory, at least for now.
Yeah, and that's kind of thing. Up against a Treant, if you don't take that tower down, as long as there's no major regression on the map, the Treant is just gonna be able to regen it up. And look at it, it's already back to about 3/4 healthier as Lays on the bottom lane. How is he looking in terms of net worth? He's actually not too far behind the Earth stuff, and now he's level 6
in the bottom lane. If you're going you need to have an organized defense. So I think Lays, if he sees the Ursa on the bottom, he's gonna know so. That's why Ursa is good. And Laurel.
Yeah, and Laurel here is nowhere to see that bounty rune pick up as well. Lays, his spidey sense has got to be tingling. There's nobody shown in the mid lane. You can see, yeah, he's running himself into the trees. He's just hiding himself away. He's waiting for that. Gonna come out, and now Lol, he didn't move himself too far away. Lays, he's in the trees. He's got another spider web out. Yeah, he's gonna be able to go for the TP, and Lol, he didn't have that the Earth Splitter for another second or two as well. So only the 1 point into the split Earth. So it wouldn't have been a lot of damage any.
Greater access to the mid. That's the thing Tower has to fall. If your Clockwork and CM are to be useful in this game, it has to come in the next 5 to 7 minutes. And for that, the mid lane tower needs to. That's why Navi are putting so much emphasis into it, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be the same thing as the last game. Team Spirit, they don't hit their timings, they don't start killing people. Sweet and Strong gets his big item. Last time it was the Sleeping Dart or the Shard and the Risky. Now it's gonna be the Blink Dagger, and then so this is dangerous for Team Spirit. I'm expecting them to be a bit more aggressive, and it's important that they have the hook shot, which right now missing.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Spiraling's got I want to say a magic resist nerf.
They got a nerf in terms of vision. I don't know if their magic vision rate 700.
Yeah, it might have been a couple of patches ago, but I'm just looking because the Broodmother going for, I mean, especially up against the Crystal Maiden, a Leshrac, a Snapfire here as well. So the Brood wants it, instead of the Guardian's Greaves, it's going to be going towards a pipe. for that first big item. You're not going towards an Orchid, not going towards what I usually see coming out from a Broodmother. It is going to be that pipe to come out here just to offer the protection for the rest of the team as well. Not just for the Spiderlings, but for the rest of the team as well, once these fights do start to break out. But like I say, up against a Lesh and a Crystal Maiden, you know, that pipe is going to be immensely valuable here coming into this mid game for the Brood and the rest of Navi.
Currently it's for Spiderlings, but later on it's for... Right, you just want the ability items for look at Viking. Yasha, BKB into probably an SN. It's all about Troll being very hard to kill. Eventually he will damage dying if he's standing his ground. If Team Spirit, once they commit, that is when he knows that they're deep enough. That is kind of what Navi are gunning for. There is going to be a time in this where they don't have enough damage, but that is where the back comes in. It gets him. Man, this is like the most exciting game I've watched so far in the DPC. 3 kills, 15 minutes in. I feel like we're watching that other game that we must not. It's kind of what Eastern Europe sometimes brings.
Yeah, sometimes we do get the straight dive Dota. Speaking about dive, Mira's going to be able to get himself onto Sweden Strong, and the multiple cases are going to start to come through as well onto the tiny Sweden Strong. Will go down. Did he get anything from this now as well, though? Mira's going to be able to come in. Flame Break with that Firefly into the last zone, so they're going to trade support for support. It looks like Mira, can he get himself to a boost? He's still taking a lot of damage, but the overgrowth is going to be Crystal Maiden. That's not going to save his life here. Even with the freezing field, the damage comes out. The Troll pops the ultimate. One more right, but no, he's going to be stunned up. He do still get the kill into the Crystal Maiden. Bichu trying to do his best to keep himself alive, but he was surrounded by 3 heroes, so he will be taken down. A 3-for-2 trade here. Team Spirit coming out on top in the Batrider. He's going to be going towards the lane just to get a little bit more farm, but he has to be careful. No, he doesn't actually have to be careful because Lyle collapsed. They move themselves into the mid lane. They finally want this mid lane tier 1 tower with the Leshrac having the 4 points now into Diabolic Edict. Even with the fortification, they should still have a decent amount of damage, but then again, Trained Protective's going to be back alive. Living Armor gets popped once again onto the tower, so this tower is still going to be looking fairly healthy.
Team Spirit needs a million of those. They need to be forcing these things out. Navi, you know, this is what happens. You get forced into a fight that you know, ideally when you talk about your strategy, you don't want to take it. But Team Spirit are gonna force you. One time you're gonna take the bait and you're gonna die. But Team Spirit, they want that to happen multiple games. So as mentioned, their supports actually have the impact needed, and with the mid lane tower being down, now the road is open, and this is kind of the objective taking potential of yourself. He's not good at taking towers, but he can join the fight against the enrage, but also then he's great at taking the Roche, and Larl is gonna have more tools to just run into the enemy phase, create space.
Yeah, and you can see that as well that Leshrac, he picked up the Aegis, he's already got himself the Bloodstone, so if the fights start breaking out, he's got a lot of survivability, he's got that second life to offer there as well, so Lesh should be able to put out a massive amount of impact in these fights. Yeah, Broodmother going to be going towards a Hex, it looks like. Mira, ooh, well, I mean, the Spiderlings were in the middle of him, so he wasn't able to get off that hook shot, and Lays just going to be able to skitter his way away here, it looks like.
In the Western European Sea, Ace went I actually wouldn't mind it. Just to know where Team Spirit are, because I think what Navi are gunning for is the late game with the Troll, right? So you need some time for that to happen. Even once V2 gets a BKB, he's still kiteable, right? You need to be strong enough that you don't have to pop your BKB. So I was kind of expecting the Brood to be, but yeah, Team Spirit have opened up. It's open season, hunting on Navi, and Navi, we're seeing them, they just want to dodge. They saw what happened to me. Is gonna have his in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's gonna be coming out. He just needs the recipe for it now as well. Lal gonna be able to clear up these spiders, and we'll see. I mean, Nicky calls away, so yeah, like you say, he is still farming up onto that BKB, so they don't want to fight just yet here. But the Ursa Sillery, he's still farming up in the mid lane, moving towards the bottom lane now. But actually waiting for the rune. It's going to be a double damage rune here for Yatoro here as well. So really nice pickup just to accelerate the farm even more after this Battle Fury for the Ursa.
Interesting build from the... He doesn't want a BK. It seems like he wants to have the attack. That's actually quite interesting, especially against the Pole, against the Irian, and against... Means that he doesn't want a long fight. He wants to go in and out of fights many times. so just to play around its vision and hunt. I'm kind of curious to see if we'll go through with it, but it is a nice build to go for, especially in this kind of scenario against the troll, especially because you don't want to stay long in a fight and fight the troll. You're gonna lose.
Yeah.
But if you're going in and out and just murdering people and the troll gets left alone, it's not gonna be an issue for it. This is actually quite cool coming up from this game.
Yeah, and we've seen here Lyle as well. I mean, the troll just continues to farm, and Yutaro 2-0-0, so he's having, you know, he's been involved in nearly all of the fights for Team Spirit, you know, half of the kills. But what do you think then? It is 5 kills in. So he does actually want that Blink Dagger after the Sanjin Yasha into the Basha, like you say, the Aghanim Scepter's there as well. Navi, you know, do they want to try and contest now before he gets that Blink Dagger, before he gets the Basha, or are they going to be content to wait for extra BKBs to come up, you know, extra items to come up as well? Because both teams are in this game haven't really been the most aggressive, as we can see in the kill scoreboard.
I think that. I think what Navi are waiting for right now is the Brood Mother. They are feeling like the Blink Dagger on the Tiny isn't. I think that might not be the case. I think Blink on the Tiny was good enough, but they just fought without it, and they felt like they were super weak. So now they're up against the Aegis, and they're getting pulled into this category of Jin. But I think this is not gonna work out for them, because they are kind of tossing away their timings. Then once you get the Hex on the Brood Mother, maybe if you lose a fight before that one with the Hex, you get, oh, the Hex isn't enough, blah blah blah, you get the point too far behind. I think every item timing needs to be used, and I'm actually surprised that Navi aren't pushing it a little bit forward, at least to force out things to happen around the map, force out some TPs and not allow Spirit to get everything.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, Troll Warlord as well. He's got himself the... What does he complete first? Because he's got himself a Mithril Hammer, but it looks like he wants the Yasha first before the BKB? No.
He has 2 points. BKB, and he has... I think VTune expects Team Spirit to go a little bit more aggressive. That his towers are falling, and you cannot allow... It's just gonna be wait. Tier 2 in the mid drops, you have to Tier 2, at least you have someone. It's not ideal, but it's still close to the outpost that you can reclaim that and have to break. If it's down, it's a problem. And Team Spirit would punish if maybe. Now you have to so VTune is somewhat battle ready if it.
I love this as well from Team Spirit. They're not even well. As I say what I was about to say. I was about to say they're not smoking up. They're so confident that they're just roaming around the map as 3-4 heroes, and they're inviting Navi on. But they do come with the smoke now, so they're gonna look for the wraparound. They're gonna be able to get the hook shot train, but the avalanche comes out. Marty, he's still gonna be taking a lot of damage. He's still gonna go down, and it's actually gonna be Ursa that gets that kill inside the cogs, thrown in by the cookie. While this is happening though, the Brood Mother, he's just trying his best to take down this 2-2 tower in the bottom lane. But Yutaro, he rotates down, cleans up these Spirelings again. That Battle Fury paying dividends here, and this tier 2 tower, I think it's still going to be a bit of a trap. Poshka, though, nothing going to be able to get towards him because of those cogs. He might still be able to take down Lal. Lal's going to go down, and now can he take down Poshka? Mira might be the next target as well, taking a lot of damage. Nicky Cole trying to do what he can with the Firefly that just wears off. They get the kill onto the 2 supports, and Navi, well, what else can they do? Because Collapse is going for those point-blank ultimate kisses here now as well. And also, Yutaro, he's moved himself right back up. He gets the kill onto the troll, and Nicky Cool's going to be the next target. So even though Yutaro, he was on the other side of the map, he still gets himself back into group up with the rest of his team. Enrage, Yutaro, though, can he survive through this? It looks like they might not be able to take him down here. Navi, Nicky Cool, trying his best, chasing on now as well with the Silken Bowler. They do get the kill. The Spawn Spiderlings comes out. And Broodmother just be able to push down onto that tier 2 tower, baits Yutaro down after the fight breaks out, and immediately TPs into the mid lane. And Navi, what was the trade on that? A 2 versus 4. They did lose the troll, but they got pretty much everyone on the side of Team Spirit.
That's the reason you got the BKB. Troll Warlord doesn't have a BKB there. He cannot commit onto the Lesh. You lose that fight, you lose the tower, you probably lose the BKB. And Team Spirit, they get a little bit greedy and you can punish it. That was kind of the point. Navi are made a situation where with that BKB, they are either trading the tier 2s or they're winning the fight. And in the end, they ended up winning the fight.
Yeah, Yeah, look at this. They're going to be able to take down Collapse. Malady, the tossback came out from Sweden Strong. The Blink Dagger on the Tiny, and immediately Navi just collapsed onto Collapse. As the tier 1 tower now going to get aggressed on here from the side of Navi, and nothing to stop this as well. The Ursa is still down. Really nice timing here from the side of Navi to find that pickoff.
And they are gonna have a lasso in 30, so that's pretty much when Collapse comes back to life. You take the outpost, and now you have a chance, making Team Spirit kind of scared, to get the kill and walk into the Roche pit. Second Roche is very important for the Ursa, especially because it's sharp. So you would ideally want for Spirit are gonna fight it for sure. And Navi, they can use that knowledge that their enemies are gonna be somewhere in the vicinity, surprise them, get the kill, and walk into the pit, or maybe force a buy. You know, you never know what. Very solid position now for Navi, considering where they were at just before the BKB.
Yeah, and Yatoro, he drops, you know, the battle lines on the map as well. He says they're somewhere in this dire jungle. They're grouping up. You can see even Lal. He's rotating around to group up with the rest of his team. Broodmother, he's got the Hex Gold. Is his courier? He's got the items as well, yeah. So this is going to be the Hex. So this next fight, this is going to be the reveal of the Hex. And do you want to be who do you want to target with this? Is it the Ursa, or do you want to be dropping this onto the Leshrac?
It's about toss back someone with a tiny hex them and kill them, or at least get them low enough.
The hookshot, he comes in point blank, Sweden Strong to try to get the blink in, but he's only going to put him in the middle of the Mortimer Kisses now as well. And the mirror tries to get himself out. You can see him now. Can he keep him alive? He's trying to put himself forward the goal. So the cookie comes out once again, lasso onto the Ursa. It's immediately going to fade his Vichu. They just want to fight into this, but the Ursa bird is going to be forced out the way. And now Vichu, he's got no target. It's going to be 4 heroes dead. Only Nicky Cool getting out alive.
That hook shot is game-winning spell usage. After that, the fight was like now you have a hex that you're about to reveal, and you don't click it as fast as the clockwork keeps. Flash goes in. The troll cannot go onto the ledge because the cogs are protecting him. And suddenly the fight is over. And the goes out of the fight barely, but they do pull him out. That's kind of the idea that these breakers kill a hero, get out. Even if the troll remains alone, he's gonna be in someone else. So you have to be careful of that. That's why Yatoro is gonna be having the Aghanim Scepter. That's why he's gonna have Basher, just to have those couple of more seconds to get away from the troll. If you need to do that like he needed there, despite the fight. Yeah, after the first spell was used in that fight, it was 100% certain who's gonna win, and I'm surprised that Navi just didn't start yelling to themselves, bail, bail, bail. So,
I don't think they could bail, because I mean the hookshot connects onto the Broodmother as the tiny blinks in front, so they both get stunned, the cogs get dropped, and everybody was just trapped in there. You saw that, you know, even Lyle just moved himself into the cookie came out, he was inside the cogs, and there was no way for Navi to back themselves away, because by the time they know what's going on, 3 heroes are pretty much dead. And now that's going to be Ursa taking the Aegis. He's got the shard there as well. Like you said, that Ags isn't going to be, he's got half the gold he needs to be able to pick that one up. And now this is going to be Team Spirit's map. They've got all this momentum in their favor. They're setting the tempo on the map, and they've got some great anchor points in the fights with the Clockwork, you know, with the Crystal Maiden, with the Frostbite coming out, Lulz with the Split Earth. So the amount of control they have here, Navi just can't fight around it at the minute.
Yeah, they have such great items in the side of the Spirit, and the Troll is itemizing in a way where the items that the Spirit already have are going to be counted. So Navi, I don't really see if Troll wants to go for this build, I'm gonna murder you. I'd rather see a Silver Edge Daedalus item, like a damage item, than a Basher, because I mean your ensnare is already going. You don't necessarily need it.
We'll see. I mean, how is he looking in terms of gold against that? He's still going to be a ways away from it if he wants to go towards it. And by that time, the tier 2 tower gets taken away by Team Spirit. They might be able to move themselves down to take this last tier 2 tower on the bottom lane as well. You can see the Malady as well as Nicky Cool. They're trying to do the best to push this lane out. And this tier 2 tower for the Radiant still stands after all the pressure that Broodmother was putting on. After all the pressure, you know, even the Treant rotating down to put the pressure on, help these creeps push out like this with the Nature's Grasp. It's just, they still haven't been able to take this tier 2 tower on the bottom lane.
Another way of both initiation and save is the actions. That's also something.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they get Nicky Cool. Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now, I'm looking at Navi and I'm thinking, what the hell do you do? They are still pushing the silence. That's what they should be doing. They're still smart enough to understand that they can just pump the mic. They can jump in and kill a hero and get out killed.
Look at this mirror. It's going to be thrown in by the... Oh, it might cost him his life. No, the cookie comes out. Tune trying to do what he can. He has to use the hook shot defensively. But yeah, that's going to be the Aghanims coming out for the snapfire now as well. So he does have the gobble up and the spit out to send someone like the Clockwork in. Doesn't even need the hook shot. Can just use that, drop the cogs on anyone he gets close to. And this is going to be another avenue here for Team Spirit to close the gap and start the fight. And Navi, he can't even fight underneath the T3 tower. You see them pulling back. The living arm is only going to do so much for this tower before it gets taken down. And they don't want to fight into this Aegis, it doesn't seem.
And that's a tier 3 that falls in the mid lane and you have a tiny. Usually teams are gonna not want to push the mid lane when they're up against the tiny, because they know that the tossback is gonna be with so many ways through. And they're staying here.
Yatoro blinks in, the hookshot comes through now as well to Sweden Strong. Nicky Cool has already used that BKB. Yatoro, what's he going to be able to do? Because Mirror's going to be getting down low, but the cog comes out, they take down Sweden Strong. But Yatoro, he wants to carry on going. The overgrowth's going to be used, but Yatoro, he's going to be cleaning up, takes down Malady.
Laurel is fast enough that he can TP to the bottom lane. You know that Navi has to go to the triangle and protecting him. Laurel is in there fast. It's not going to take as long as it did for you to come back to the fight. If you remember the mid lane side, the triangle is closer to the bottom lane, and Laurel was already pushing out a little bit further. It was so easy for him to connect. Now when he's on top, Navi could go for a play, or they should go for a play. The problem is they are missing some of the key BKB and
yeah, and that lasso is still about a minute away. V-Tune, he's got his own BKB. About 500 gold from getting the Basher as well. It looks like he does want to be going towards the Basher. You know, that is going to be the next big item if he can get to it. And Yatoro, how's he looking? He's already got himself the Abyssal Blade. So the difference between the two carries here, you're looking at nearly 8,000 gold difference between the two carries. That's going to be half of the network difference between the two teams themselves. And when the hookshot comes in, Nicky Cool gets caught out. Split Earth's going to be there now as Yatoro gets gobbled up, spit out, and claims the kill on Nicky Cool.
They saw Laurel be on the top lane. They thought they couldn't fight, and probably was the case, because you're going into an Aegis with someone who's push the bottom lane. The thing is that it takes so long. In your mind, it might not be that much, but it takes so long that Laurel gets his boots of travels back. He rotates to the bottom lane where his team is waiting. It's just way too easy to. One thing about the Spirit lineup is they do have a clockwork, so the vision game is always.
Yeah, and Yatoro as well, he's started onto, in fact I think he's, if we look at his courier, that's his axe completed. He wants that Swift Link to come out next, but Yatoro, he's going to have the extra cooldown on the Enrage, and you can use it while disabled. So what can Navi can't fight into this.
He is just going to go forward. He jumps in whoever he wants, and even if you lasso him, you're not going to feel it. Hex is something that can be a problem.
Look at it. You get the toss back up. Might be able to get himself onto the Ursa, but the Ursa just turns around with the Abyssal Blade with that massive amount of damage here on the Ursa. Lotus is being used as well. Mira turns around with the... I mean, he's still going to be trapped in for a little bit. So it's a decent defense. The lasso will go back down. Will they have enough to take down the Ursa? No. The lasso, they've already got the enrage up on Yatoro, and Yatoro's going to be able to take down Pichu, or is he? He's still going to be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Doesn't matter, 3 heroes go down. Spirit overrunning this game, and GG is going to be called. Navi, they give up the second game, 32 minutes in, 19-9, and after a great stage, you keep up with the Ursa.
I was saying, yeah, Hex might be a problem for him, but the thing is, and the SUY, so that's 36% status is 0, is going to be getting it.
5 seconds remaining.
Navi's turn to ban. Team Spirit's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Navi's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Team Spirit's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Navi's turn to pick.
Seconds remaining.
It's really risky, so that's why, you know, this format, it kind of puts you in a pretty stiff position. Like, maybe we know how to counter Lina, but do we have the guts to actually try it out in a competitive split currently?
Team Spirit.
Yeah, and every single game, like you say, every single game does count here, coming into the DPC, because that could be the difference between going to the major and sitting mid-table, or sitting mid-table and even being forced down to Division 2. So every team, they need to be performing in every single match, and the Lina at the minute just seems like that auto win hero. You know, teams haven't figured out how to deal with it just yet, and it's just easy first phase ban. So that isn't going to be in the draft once again, being taken away here from Team Spirit as they pick up the IO and the Primal Beast. So we've already seen one Primal Beast today, you know, run it in the mid by Nicky Cool. Do you think this is going to be lull on the Primal Beast in the mid lane, or is he one of these flex heroes that can be run in a few positions?
I'd be okay with the Primal Beast as well. It kind of fits his style. A tanky offlaner who can last hit quite nicely and can dive and potentially. Either way, I like the IO Primal Beast against the Treant in particular, because against the Treant you either get overwhelming tower damage, which sometimes backfire because that tower damage can be burst. But the better thing is to dive him. Just dive him, and IO plus Primal Beast, IO plus Legion Command, things like that are very good at diving. Primal Beast even better, because with the trample you're just through the trees. So that is actually quite a nice approach of Team Spirit. I like it. They've been thinking about some of these key picks and what to pick against them. Especially because I think the first pick has been something teams have been going.
Turn to ban.
First pick phase is the most important one. First pick and the last pick of that phase are so big, and I think Team Spirit were in particular thinking about, okay, if they pick the Treant, what? If they pick the Lina, if they pick the Rubik, what? because that's how you're gonna be getting better at
10
drafting, and then
seconds
you
remaining.
can always choose the side and just let the enemies have the first
5
pick, because you
seconds
have ways of
remaining.
dealing with the.
Yeah, and with the IO coming out now from Team Spirit, you know, we know that the global presence comes out. Are you expecting Team Spirit to maybe look towards something like a Spectre or a Nature's Prophet in that position 1 role? Because those two heroes have started to gain, well, I mean, I can't even say gain for the Nature's Prophet, because the Nature's Prophet, being played in that 1 role, has been quite meta for a while, but the Spectre is starting to come back into the meta, so would you like Spirit to go for more of a fighting draft, pick up more of that global presence in their lineup?
I would like present. Fear that if you pick a Spectre, that you're gonna be lack damage department and your
10
lane.
seconds
Imagine a
remaining.
double melee lane against the primal beast. I mean, you're gonna get tripled
5
literally.
seconds remaining.
So I'd even the Nature's Prophet. I think because of the primal beast, there's you just don't do well against the Io and the primal beast in particular. You like the global threat, counter it. But the trees, the sprout don't help you against the Io. You can just break them. Primal beast as well. They go to you. They don't care about the treants. They don't even gets them to deal with the treants. I'm kind of all against those two.
Turn to
I'd
ban.
rather see some damage position 1, straight up Ursa Slark type of stuff against Primal Beast.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, they've already banned out the Slark, the Faceless Void. They banned out the Slark themselves. Faceless Void is gone. Team Spirit do have that next pick, Enigma
10
and the
seconds
Beastmaster.
remaining.
So Spirit looking to take out those heavy
5
off lane
seconds
push
remaining.
heroes here from the side of Navi. Make sure that, you know, they can, especially with the Treant Protector, you know, that Navi can't take down the towers while protecting their own efficiently. So Spirit all in there, it seems, with those two bans to making sure that the, like I say, the towers don't fall in the first 5 or so minutes.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. You're on point with that one. What Navi has been doing good in this series is
Team
taking the enemy tier
Spirits
1
turn to
protecting them.
Navi's
And
turn
considering
to
they have
ban.
a trend, you don't want that to happen. Don't want your part of the map overtaken.
yeah, and Crystal Maiden comes out for Team Spirit. So we did see the Spirit. Crystal Maiden was quite effective. Would you expect here? I mean, the Treant Protector's already out, so that's looking more likely than the position 5.
10
But I was
seconds
thinking
remaining.
Navi, if they wanted to, never mind. Clock span. I've been
seconds
seeing teams
remaining.
pick up the Clockwork as an answer to the Crystal Maiden more and more. Because obviously the freezing field, you know, if you get yourselves in and around your team, drop that freezing field at a distance, the damage that it does, so the Clockwork being able to come in from a distance with the hookshot into then the batch assault on the Crystal Maiden stops the freezing field in its tracks, and then you get yourself in and around the fight with the, like I said, the batch assault, the cogs being dropped as well. So
Navi's
obviously you don't
turn
really want to be dropping a lot to counter, especially a position 5 Crystal Maiden, but the Clockwork does seem like a really nice answer that fits in with the rest of the team around it, and
Navi's
Spirit
turn to
just decided to take that one out of the draft. As Pangolier comes out, but okay, we're in the next ban phase. Tiny, Visage, Bite Rider, and Treant Protector. So I'm assuming Tiny is going to be sweet and strong again. Treant Protector on the position 5. Bloodseeker is still there
10
for
seconds remaining.
Navi if they want to use it up against the Pangolier coming into the mid game. But is there anything you think
5
Navi should be? I mean,
seconds
Lifesteal, you've talked about it. You know, V2 really likes that hero. The Wraith King was impressive. You know, is there anything you think Navi should be angling towards to complete their draft?
Morphling is not bad. Usually people would like to link the Morphling and Primal Beast. Would have some burst damage, but then position something that you need in this game in
Team
particular.
Spirits turn to
This
ban.
is actually a very scary game because CM can't stay in the lane for a long time. She wants to stay in the lane for a long time, get her levels. Pango, in my mind, is just gonna be bullying this, and he should, because there's nothing that the Bass Rider can do against the other. So I'm very scared here for Navi. They can defend the towers, but the Treant won't really be helping the Visage deal with the CM Pango. It is a very tough situation. You
10
need to
seconds
have
remaining.
a carry on the side of Navi, rotate and do damage.
5
Once
seconds
Pango is
remaining.
bullying the something
Team
is
Spirits
gonna help you
turn
there,
to
or at
ban.
least you're gonna need to be so good at dodging all of those moves. But it's really not that big of a problem for Team Spirit to catch you, and Visage is gonna. And in the end, it is gonna be Navi depending on the
Navi's
I
turn
don't want to be
to
playing
pick.
against.
Yeah, Spirit, they know about VTune and the lifesteal, so they are going to be removing this here as well. And it looks like Navi, it might be something completely different here for the side, for VTune to pick up. And meanwhile, Team Spirit, they are looking potentially for
10
their carry as well. The Terrorblade is still there.
5
Pace has been
seconds
taken out, Naga's been taken out, Morphin Slark has gone as well, the Bloodseeker, Lifesteal have gone. I'm just trying to think of what else was popular. The again, the Nature's Prophet is still there if they want some push potential on position 1. But it's going to be the Ursa for Navi. So how are Team Spirit going to answer back to this? What is the answer to the Ursa? Drow is still there?
I don't really want to go for something that goes well with an IO.
10 seconds remaining.
That's what you.
True. Chaos Knight, maybe?
5 seconds remaining.
I was thinking maybe something like comes as a pretty. You would do well against the Visible Lane, take away his damage, just farm. I was thinking Bristleback at some point, but then you see the Ursa and you either not.
Yeah.
I mean, there are options. I wouldn't hate any of it. I wouldn't hate the Drow. I wouldn't hate the Terrorblade.
Position 1 Huskar with the dive and the disarm. IO to follow up, maybe?
In a second and such. Can't do much.
Yeah, but I mean, Navi, they're going to have an... If they take any fight, you know, they're going to be into that Roche pit and taking Roche anyway.
Yeah, but Huskar is a hero that really benefits from... You usually don't take those Roche.
Alright, it's time to win.
They go
Choose your
first.
hero.
Okay, well... I mean... Yeah, I did say. I was just listing off
It
carry
is
heroes
lying.
that, you know, top of my head. But Yutaro, they are going to be going for that Chaos Knight. And some good, like say the IO combining with the Chaos Knight, there's some good relocate potential into a straight up gank and then right back to farming out. Chaos Knight exerts a lot of pressure as well, not afraid to use the phantasms as well, Yutaro, to put pressure on the lane, even outside of the fights, just using them to farm up to early on in the game, looking to put pressure onto the tier 1 towers to try and force a rotation from Navi. So Chaos Knight is going to be able to, I think if they have a good start here, Team Spirit, Chaos Knight, you know, comes online, doesn't need too many items to start to get involved in these fights as well. Obviously does like the items, but with the rest of his team, might be able to take a good couple of early fights here on the side of Spirit.
For sure. The aggressive potential of the Crystal Maiden. I just don't want to see Miposhka like in game number 1 against Lays that he's dying level 1, right? Just be a little bit more conservative with the Crystal Maiden. CK has some lifesteal, he has a ton of HP, he's not gonna die to deep. Stay behind him, harass as much as you can, find and go for it. That's how I want this lane. If they do it, if they do well in that lane, they have so much good potential later on with the rotations of I'm looking at Navi and I'm kind of afraid that they're gonna be lacking in terms of potentials to make plays. So if this Visage is slowed down, and I think that's gonna be the main one that they are gonna be in so much trouble creating this game.
Yeah, and we'll see, I mean, how they want to play around it, because it's just... Like, the Ursa from the last game had a really good start, you know, it wasn't really overly contested. The game itself was, you know, a slower game. There was a little bit less aggression, but here, I think both sides have the potential to put the pressure on, and I'm looking forward to seeing how, you know, Team Spirit answer back into this Ursa, because Navi in that last game just had no answers whatsoever. And
you answer him by crushing his teammates. There's not gonna be enough initiation and ability to see what's happening on the map from the side of Navi as much as Spirit had in
30
the
seconds
previous
to
game.
back.
You have a clockwork, you have
You again?
They snap far. All of those helps you. What does help you here? Treant? Not really. Tiny until he gets a blink. Again, not really. And a Batrider, he needs the boots of travels and stuff like that. So you need a strong Visage that can stand his ground. Navi are again be looking to slow down the game. Again, I said it even in game number 1 against the team like Spirit. They are gonna recognize it. They might not have done it in game. Now they'll recognize, they'll run.
The battle begins.
Yeah, Mira has to be careful. I mean, he does have that Crystal Maiden, but he's trying to get himself in. He does actually get the rune and get himself out with the tether as well. That was cheeky for Mira, but it pays off.
Beautiful. He gets fed a tango, has the headdress. He'll be more than happy to return to the lane where they've already taken down the trees with the trample. So Team Spirit are gonna be quite fine. I'm hoping Collapses bring tangos. Yeah, playing the lane without the tangos even happy.
No, but yeah, he was ready to go all in before the runes did drop here with the the 3 branches with that extra move speed coming through. So the wind lace offering a little bit more utility here with that trample, a little bit bonus damage, because obviously it scales off how fast you do move, the damage that you put out with this trample. And you can see that Melody's trying to get, he's got a really nice ward down. He got that down before, again, the very beginning of the game, before the runes dropped. He did get this ward down here. So Melody should be able to see any pulls that do come through, any couriers that are moving up as well, if he wants to potentially look for a courier snipe, which I think that's what he was going for there before Mira shut him down.
He was trying to bully Mira. He can't really do much to Collapse to get trampled. If Mira is connected to Collapse, you're not going to him, especially with the armor. But they are trying to take the wisp back, so that the thing is, this lane only gets harder. The only thing you can really do in it is kind of secure the farm.
Yeah, and looking at the mid lane, so we're going to see Lal coming up against Nicky Cool on his back rider once again here. Nicky Cool, this time Lal on the Pangolier. He's going to be going for the would you go for more swashbuckle against the bat rider just to offer the escape, or do you want that shield crash?
The slow on the bat is more valuable than getting away from him, because you get away from him with the swashbuckle, he turns you back with the but if you're slowing down with the shield crash, that's the way that that's why even in Ursa in the mid lane you like that, because you have that potential. Pango does the same thing with the shield crash, and he is the same.
Yeah, and it looks like as well that Pangolier, he picks up the boots before he goes for the bottle, so he wants that extra movement speed. He wants that extra mobility coming out on the Pangolier. And Nicky Cool, how is he looking? It actually looks like he's got that bottle first item, so he's going to be a little bit behind on the movement. In fact, with the sticky napalm, the sticky napalm stack up, Pangolier, he's going to be down to 289 with 4 stacks, but 345 with those boots. Nicky Cool, he's got them coming out on the next item, but it is just going to be a little bit of extra mobility here for the Pangolier in this early part of the lane.
Top lane Collapses already diving. We talked about the Primal Beast and the IO diving. I wasn't really thinking about minute 3, but yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's... Also, look at the bottom lane. This time around, Miposhka is not taking any damage. This is just going to allow Ritoro to get everything he wants. Navi are getting decimated in 0-0 in kills, but in terms of CS, they are not playing.
Yeah, you can see that all 3 cores on the side of Navi, they've got those last hits. They're stacking them, all 3 cores on the side of Spirit, are stacking the last hits over Navi. And Miposhka, like you say, he's got a lot of regen coming into this lane. 6 tangos to start off with a salve as well as a stick. So he is going to have that survivability to be offered in this lane. And they, like I said, this time, Lays, they don't have the burst damage coming through enough to be able to get the kill onto Miposhka. Miposhka's just playing back safe, it looks like there as well. Sweet and Strong, not going to be able to close the gap as well onto the Crystal Maiden, so this lane could be a little bit different from that first game, like you were talking about. Collapse on the top lane as well. He's not scared of coming back behind that tier 1 tower, getting onto the creep wave. And Melody, he's got the leech seed, so he's going to offer some sustain to himself, but he doesn't really have the harass damage to come out against Collapse.
But they're smart enough to keep their distance. Maybe now with Sweet and Strong getting level 3, if he well, they might be able to kill the Crystal Maiden, but that doesn't. Larl is approaching that level 6. I'm expecting so many rotations. And it's not like the Bat Rider is pressure your tower.
No, not a big build and take it. Yeah, I think Nicky Cool is just going to mirror any movements that Lal makes then once he hits that level 6 himself to try and counter gank any lanes that Pangolier wants to apply pressure on.
I think you mirror it, but literally not going to lane where the Pango is. It's at one.
Right.
That's how I think. Where the Pango is with the Rolling Thunder, unless he's already invested and make the big blunder going way too deep, then okay, you can punish him. But even then, it's not certain that the bat will do.
Yeah, and Lyle now, he's not too far, what, a creep or two away from that level 6, so he is going to have the mana as well if he wants to TP to a lane, maybe apply that pressure. How's Bat looking in terms of the levels as well? Nicky Cool, yeah, so this creep wave, both heroes should be getting that level 6. Top lane, Collapse, again, this isn't even his tower, and he's just so comfortable with Mira backing him up, just playing it underneath the tier 1.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Collapse, he's going to be taking a lot of damage. He'll come through the Nature's Grasp, he's going to be the Earthshock coming through from V-Tune as well. He's still going to be able to dive himself away. Level 1 here into the Onslaught, so he is going to have that really wide dive away here from the Primal Beast to get himself out of danger. If he needs that ripcord, you know, needs that eject button, he can press it and just immediately get out of danger. Because until level 6 onto the Treant, there's no real lockdown on this lane here for the Southern Navi.
Robbie and me used to cast the Division in DPC and Pool 1 and Pool 2 in the previous year. Man, they were like this every game until 7 minutes, nothing is happening. And I was always like, okay, at least Division 1 didn't adopt it, but after a year, Division 1 understands this is the way to play Dota. And we now see these we just don't want to touch each other.
I love this, the mid lane, it looks like Lol, is he going to go down here? Nicky Cool does pick up the first blood. I love that he waited, he got himself on top with the Firefly as Collapse does get the kill onto V-Tune in the top lane. And is there going to be aggression on bot lane? The Frostbite comes out now, but there's going to be the toss back, so CK, he didn't actually use the Chaos Bolt to get the stun onto Laze and the toss away, but yeah, mid lane, we saw Nicky Cool, he waited for the Rolling Thunder animation to come out, and then he dropped the lasso. Didn't drop it straight away because you were already on top of the Pangolier, and he got enough damage to get the kill off with that Firefly still ticking.
I like it. That's actually a nice, good way to make sure that Arl isn't ganking. He's TP'd to the top lane, whereas the Ursa TP'd into the mid lane to refill the... That's interesting. Okay, that means that they want the tower. Without the siege creep, with these creeps, they will not get it.
Marty, though, he's in the trees. Does Collapse want to dive into it? He does have that onslaught if he wants to use it, but there's still a bit. I mean, the living armor comes out, there's creep wave, and you can see the Pangolier already moving himself back into the mid lane here. Lol. And how much damage did he get? Didn't get anything onto that mid tier 1 tower. Nicky Cool.
Middle tower is under attack.
If I'm Navi, I'm happy, man. The lane started off pretty badly for them. Now, when we see the bat, he's way ahead of the Tango. And Laze, he didn't have a great lane, but he's not being bullied by the Tango as I thought he would be. So he's at least going to be able to get some nice lanes here. He still hasn't died a single... If I'm Navi, I'm super happy. I thought the start of the lanes is going to be way too dangerous for them.
Yeah, it's really strong. Actually picks up the Invis rune here now as well, just to make sure Lol can't bottle it off. Mapochka came in with the Frostbite onto the Batrider, but all of a sudden it's going to come down, and now the Earthshock, he has to swashbuckle himself away from that. There isn't a lasso for the next 10 seconds, so they couldn't take advantage of the Rolling Thunder wearing off, but it's just enough to keep the Batrider alive, and that's the most important part of that fight breaking out. Good rotation coming in from the Tiny to make sure that he offered some protection against the after the Frostbite came out from Mapochka, and the Batrider just pulls a stage left and gets himself out of danger.
This is okay for Navi. Their towers aren't dropping. We'll see now if Collapse will be able to take the top tower. This would be big if he can, and it seems like no one is rotating, so it will be going down. So despite Navi, you know, getting some gold on their bat and you know not really taking too many kills, they're still gonna let go of this tower, and that is not ideal. Nessa just isn't having that good in the game, and getting a Battle Fury and the power treads has a long way.
Yeah, but it looks like he is being given the mid lane here to help find that farm, find the solo experience, and it's... I mean, the Batrider's in the jungle, so the Batrider's going to be looking for the stacks. They give the solo mid lane over to the Ursa, which means, you know, if there's anything that kicks off the Ursa, he's just going to be able to hang on this side of the river as well. The TPs that come in will offer some protection, so he's level 6 as well, so he's got the enrage, so he's got that extra protection himself. So I think at the minute, as long as VTune doesn't cross the river, there's a low threshold of kill potential here that comes out against the Ursa. So he is going to be given that time just to find the farm that he needs. In fact, Nicky Cool might just back away and give this farm over to VTune here as well, so he can get closer to those power treads, closer to the Battle Fury.
It's all about team spirit. Navi, we already talked about it. Their heroes aren't really capable of making plays. I mean, you have a Tiny who, without the Blink Dagger, not that powerful. Treant not going to be doing anything other than pushing out the top lane. Even the Visage, he needs to stand in a lane. So Spirit know this, and Spirit are calculating right now what they need to do. I still think Wall could have gotten a few kills on the map, getting a bit more of a lead firstly, but for now they seem comfortable not doing any. So I'm kind of thinking Team Spirit, they kind of want to close out the same scenario as they did in the previous game. Poke on the top lane in the end of the jungle, force Navi to overextend, crush them, and from that take over the game. That's the idea. That's something I would be gunning for if I was in their spot. Navi are actually allowing the mid lane tower to take some unnecessary damage. This should be prevented for sure, especially because you have a chain.
Yeah, the living armor is coming out on this mid lane tower, but the catapult is going to be there as well, so they are going to be able to stack some damage up. In fact, Lol's going to be taking the tower shots as well, just to make sure this creep wave gets here before the tower targets onto that catapult creep. And this tier 1 tower, 300 health left. This might actually go down here with the help of the catapult. Living armor comes out again with Poshka, just going to be on the front lines. Crystal Nova does get dropped onto VTune. Haste here for the Pangolier. Lol, does he want to try and make something happen? The Frostbite as well onto the Tiny, but it looks like Lol, he doesn't want to overcommit, and it's going to be the deny onto the tier 1 tower, but it does still go down, which creates the space, you know, creates the access to both the triangle and the diagonal here from the side of Team Spirit. And in fact, Collapse is saying, I didn't need access to be granted to me. This is my jungle anyway, and I'm going to be taking all the farm I want from this.
And finally, there's Team Spirit's rotation to work. Blaze, he seems like he's not aware, but this time around, he has a mech. He's not really that easy to target for sure.
Yeah, this time he is going to be going towards the Guardian Screeves. Yataro is going to be coming through. How does he want to go in with a Rolling Thunder? It looks like he wants to be building towards the Diffuser Blade here now as well, but Laze, he's just hanging himself back behind these trees. He doesn't want to give himself away. Like you say, they're not sure where everyone is on the map, so the Spidey sense here for the Visage just tingling, and he doesn't come too far forwards, just underneath the tier 1, just in case anything kicks off, so those TPs can come in to protect him.
Playing with fire, really.
Yeah, he only has the backup of Malady here. Malady level 7, so he does have the overgrowth, and it's creating space for VTune. At least VTune is finding the farm. You know, he's going to be able to get himself towards that Battle Fury. He does pick that up now, so that's going to accelerate his farm out. But you know, who is this really benefiting in here? 12 minutes in, 1-to-1 in terms of kills. Both teams getting the space for the carries that they need. Is this more, you know, does Yutaro prefer this, or does Team Spirit need to get aggressive and look to put the pressure onto the Ursa sometime soon?
It doesn't have to be the Ursa. Team Spirit wants kills. Their lineup is very good at getting kills, though. Considering that they're taking down towers and not getting kills, that's fine with them as well, because you're losing the map as Navi, and you're going for a battlefield hero. So having a low amount of map that is why Team Spirit are okay by now.
Well, they're going to try and make a dive in onto the Visage as well. Swashbuckle comes out, but there is going to be stuff. Freezing Field's going to be there, and you get the kill onto Laze Mira. All 5 heroes from the side of Spirit are down here. Sweden Strong has to wear himself away. They have the root onto Malady as well. Malady's going to be taken down, and they get the kill onto Sweden Strong. Can they go even further onto this Nicky Cool? Relocate, but it only drags back onto the IO. Nicky Cool, he's not going to use that lasso. Collapse, big tanky boy, looking towards finishing off that BKB there as well. So a good rotation, and Spirit, they get 3 kills out of that. Don't lose anyone.
Mira's and Collapse's positioning has kind of been the main thing of this game. Not a lot of things are happening, but what is happening is that they're working on leaving people to their team and constantly doing some kills. And that is creating so much protection.
Look at this. Collapse, he wants to get in. He's got the BKB this time as well. He's going to use that Tumda's toy and the trample. Now there's going to be the last shot. They're coming out onto the Primal Beast. Do they have enough lockdown to Collapse? That BKB will be run off sometime soon, and they do get the kill Laze. He's going to be able to get some revenge, gets himself a double kill here on the Poshka and Collapse. And it looks like Navi, did he want to chase even further? There's no overgrowth, but it looks like Yutaro and Mira are going to be backing themselves away. And lol, he was already out there as well.
Team Spirit want to fight this. They're staying in the area, showing that they want to fight this once their heroes are up. This is kind of dangerous for Navi, especially if Team Spirit start bringing it. Okay, Laurel doesn't have a TP in addition to it. Laurel went to the mid lane and doesn't have a TP.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, and they do take this tier 1 tower, like you say, so V-Tune's going to be able to pick that one up, get him out. He's got about, what's that, just over 1,000 gold to catch up with the Chaos Knight, and Yatoro, Yatoro is looking really good. He's using the Phantasms to farm. He's looking for the extra speed, but the relocate's going to be coming in. In fact, they might actually find out Nicky Cool. It's going to be the relocate onto the Batrider with the Pulverize now as well. They get the Frostbite, they get the lockdown. They're going to get the back.
Every time I see the Pulverize, I want to see the interactions. The Reality Rift just pulls you out of it. I have a friend who spam Prime and he always gets annoyed. This spell, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work. Like, every single thing cancels it, or sometimes when you expect something to cancel it, it just doesn't yet. It's ridiculous. You're getting used to it. But obviously, if you pull a hero out of his arms, he's not going to be able to smash it into the ground any longer. Spirit are just allowed to do whatever they want on the map. Navi have no life potential until Sweden's strong blink. And I don't know, at that point, there's kind of going to be cores too tanky to kill, and the only one that you're going to be able to bring down is putting yourself in the hole. I wouldn't want to be, especially not late.
Look at this wraparound here. Lane's going to be chased down. Reality Rift to drag back. The familiars are going to be there. Can he carry on chasing? He's going to try and use the mechanism to keep himself alive. Going towards those Guardians. We're going to change his mind to the pipe. But yeah, he's still going to be dead. One more right will come through from the Chaos Knight. They do get the kill, and now they might even be able to go for more. But there's going to be the top back onto Mali. So Mira, he's trying to get himself away from this one. Whereas that tether, does he have it up? He's going to be able to get himself right back onto Yatoro. And the way they started that fight, they went round the backside of the creeps into the trees, knowing that if they walk through the vision, that Lace could just go for the TP away. Really nice positioning coming through from the Chaos Knight and the IO to move out of vision of the dire creeps and find the kill onto the Visage.
And while this is happening, VG is barely surviving. It's not like he's hitting crazy for a BKB to try to make that one fight happen like in the previous game. But where do you actually attack creeps? Look at the vision of Team Spirit. Top lane, warded. Bottom lane, they're controlling it with their heroes. It's just impossible for Navi to play Dota.
Yeah, and bottom lane, they might even be able to take down Sweden Strong. As the Reality Rift comes in, Yatoro picks up the kill here, and Mira just grouping up with the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight is online. V2, they're going to kill him at Poshkin. If they want to go even further, though, the relocate's going to be coming in. This is going to be the Reality Rift. He take down V2. He's just straight up dead. He'd already used the Enrage. It was down for another 10 seconds, and they're going to be able to open up the map once again here on the side of Spirit. Nicky Cool, he's used that lasso, so there's nothing else that they can do here. They can't even try and posture up to take down Mira as he relocates back in, because Yatoro, he's still got the Phantasm, he's still got the kill potential, and they might even go for more here. Nicky Cool gonna be slowed down, but the Aegis Grass does come out onto the lane, and Yatoro doesn't have a blink dagger just yet.
We get you, Robin. It's fine that you can't pronounce really strong name, because it's very tough to call someone strong when you're seeing them pushed on your screen over and over again. Like, literally, he can't find impact in his game, and once again.
Yeah, I like the fact that he must have been micro in the familiars there, because he doesn't even react when Yatoro comes up and just boops him in the nose. You know,
like, what was he supposed to do? Like, the only thing he can do is panic. But the manly stoic thing would be, yeah, that's so what? So what? You smashed my face. You live to fight another. At least you don't trample over your honor.
Yeah, okay. If that's the narrative we'll go with, then yeah, he was just like, he was being honorable. He was saying that, you found me, and I deserve this death, I guess. He wasn't even going to put up the pretense of trying to run away. V2, and it looks like he might be able to turn. No, the Avalanche comes through the Rolling Thunder, and the relocate once again. V2, the toss it away, trying to keep his Ursa alive. He's still going to go down, and now Sweden Strong, he's going to be the next victim. 4 heroes grouping up here with the Frostbite, the drive back with the Reality Rift. He get the kill, and even Collapse getting in on that at the very end.
Navi, they all want to die. They all
Yeah,
die.
they're coming in. They want to try and get something from this, so they might be able to get the kill into Maposhka. Collapse needs to move himself away from this. The lasso's going to be there, but Primal Beast, he's holding on to that BKB, and now with the familiars being dropping, but Collapse is going to go in. He's going to get the ultimate comes out. It stops him mid-charge. Nikki Cool still going to go down. A bit more trample damage, and Lyle secures the kill with a swashbuckle. And now lays in the trees. Anything to stop us out. This time, they can't close the gap.
He knows when he can survive. That's when he just that's okay for Navi. Actually, I thought when he got that BKB and went for the CM, they weren't going to be getting anything other than CM, but they get the BKB of the Primal Beast, so that's quite nice. And in the end, they only lose the Fast Rider. Not ideal, you know, but in the current scenario, at least.
Oh, he has to use the enrage. So he turned himself back to get the Ring of Aquila, and Yatoro, he just took advantage of this, and now the dive's going to come through. But like I said, the BKB down from Primal Beast. 40 seconds before that's back up to V-Tune. He's going to go taken down again. Yatoro's just running wild all these heroes. The drive back into the frostbite. The control, the Dream Protector is going to be next. And this is just an absolute run over here from the side of Team Spirit. Yatoro, he's in the base. The tier 2 towers stand, but he wants to go behind the tier 3 to make a move onto. They're going to keep him alive here. Looks like Mirror's going to be able to sustain this as well. Through the field being dropped by Maposhka. 3 heroes dead on the side of Navi, and now Spirit can back up if they want to go towards. Well, they can't go towards the tier 2 tower because the creep wave is still pushed up, but still diving tier 3s close to tier 4s when the tier 2 tower still stands. That shows you how confident Team Spirit are in this third and final game.
One of stop their already dead moments. Traps himself in the gets himself out, but this is this game is just impossible. Navi, they don't have a way to make a play. Just gonna wait for your BKB, and once they lose the fight with that one, because it's tough to see them winning it, they're probably gonna GG out. But you always go for that one big item timing that you've been waiting for a long time before you GG out, because it still kind of changes the kind of current flow of the game. Obviously, here the old date is way too big for Team Spirit, but you're hoping BKB plus a potential overdive, you can come back into the game other than. Who knows, some people, some naysayers would say this is over.
Is that me? Am I the naysayer? Am I supposed to say it's over?
Do you think it's over?
I mean, you look at Yatoro, he's in a very position over the Ursa, 9-0-4 to the 1-4 of V-Tune here. The smoke's going to come out though. They might be able to get the lockdown. Can he take down the Crystal Maiden? The Force Up comes out and Collapse wants to go in. Pops out BKB. Override comes out with a bit to take down Maldi as well. Nikki Cool. Can he get himself away from this? He's popping his own BKB. Can he be able to get the last with the lockdown coming out onto the gap? He's going to be able to pop the Manta style. And Yatoro, can he get himself away? No, Lays does get the kill. And Yatoro is going to go down here. The Earth starts to clean it up. Miposhka though, he tries to come in with a freezing field. Collapse is going to be back in. Can he take down? He's going to be able to get the trample on. Takes down the Ursa. And that Collapse. Mira, does he have that relocate out? He's already used it to get in. So Mira, is he going to be going down next? Do they get a full 5-man wipe out of this? Mira just trying to buy time, but there's going to be the blink in the avalanche to toss back. And now Collapse. He might be collapsing with the damage coming out from the side of Navi. And Navi, there's going to be a real nice jump through here, but the onslaught, it's not going to be enough. Is it? Is this going to be enough to keep him alive? He takes down Nikki Cool. Collapse. He's running. He's still going to be taken down, and Lays will get the kill.
See there, Lays keeps his honor, Collapse, runs like a coward, and dies. No, just kidding. Of course, he turned around that fight, and actually the only reason why this fight is somewhat acceptable for Team Spirit, there it is, BKB on the Ursa, and they win a fight. They won that fight. Team Spirit overdived into a BKB of the Ursa. The Ursa stood his ground against the CK and won. And after the CK is dead, the overwhelming damage just isn't there. And Mirrors can clean up, obviously, in the end. It just came down to all of the heroes who were left alive don't really have that much burst damage, so it took a long time for the fight to end. But there it is, you know, Ursa dealing 3k damage to fight, and the CK only 2k. It's something that the Team Spirit weren't expecting. Perfect position. Is it going to be enough to win? Probably not, but it is a good start. Second, this is going to be the first throw, so it's not that big of a deal. Ursa wants to the first one, once he loses it, it's not.
Yeah, and we can see here Yatoro, he's going to be able now. He wants to go towards that heart. He wants to be surviving through these fights a little bit longer. So after he got tossed it onto a creep, that could have been the instant bye-bye there for the Aegis. I mean, Mira was there to back him up, has that relocate if he needs it, but Yatoro just by the randomness of the draw, wasn't pulled back there, and it was the creep that got tossed back instead.
No randomness, and it's the closest target. Sweet and Strong made a mistake with the blink.
Well, I was trying to be nice to Sweet and Strong, you know. We don't want to accuse the players of outright mistakes. That's just rude.
You couldn't pronounce his name. Felt he was talking about it. Anyways, though, still, Team Spirit, even if the CK gets tossed there, I don't know if it's the ideal scenario. You do have 2 heroes to pull people back, but the Wisp and the Aegis, that's Navi,
yeah.
Understand they have to fight for now. You're not getting back to it, just allowing the enemy to take down those. You have to battle.
We'll see what, I mean, Collapse behind the tier 2. Gonna try and dive himself in to find out. Sweet and Strong, though, in the trees away from that. And the tier 2, Spirit are stacking up, they're putting the pressure on it, and it's not even with 11 armor. You're not going to live through here. You can see that Maldi's trying to do his best to cut this creep wave, you'll keep the pressure off this tier 2, but it will eventually go down.
They are trying to force out as much as they can from this point. Is it the positioning so that their Sunos can be safe? Is it the BKBs? Meaning just to slow things down, or at least give themselves. It's that kind of scenario that you're in. It's a picture other than the blink. Okay, I can get behind that. Toss back, lasso, and you want to. So they are going for a win. This time around, I like Vichun's last game on a troll. But this kind of blink actually does allow him to come back. You get a blink, you jump in, they kite you around, and it's over. You're dead. You're just hoping that your teammates, which might not happen, but it can happen, bring you the fray and you attack. Let's see if Navi can execute. Did they get some?
Yeah, Yataro, he's got that Aegis for another 2.5 minutes, so this does keep the I was going to say the advantage in the side of Team Spirit, but it looks like Navi, they want to smoke out and maybe look to get a pickup here as Yataro, he's just pushing onto this tier 2 tower now as well. Now he's going to be coming close. Does he want to go for the overgrowth? Because he's still got the tether from Mira. So Mira, if there really is danger, Mira can pull him out with the relocate.
Spirit are very careful about it. They were fighting for years. Now they're even with this. They are trying to use the other part of their. That is the ability to come in with all of their heroes without much middle because they have a. So they're pushing in all the lanes, and they are the ones now forcing Navi to stay because they know that if they just run in, there is a chance to lose a fight, and another lost fight means that the game might not be. Navi are in a position where they can dictate something rather than just wait for teams to do something and be ready.
Yeah, Vichun, like you say, he went for that basher after the BKB, so he's more bothered about being able to finish the fights than engaging on them. And I mean, you look at Vichun in terms of net worth behind, he's still about 5k behind Yataro. How does he, is he really bothered about catching up? Because, or is it just down to the rest of his team to enable him in these fights? Because he did take a really good one when, you know, Spirit were split up a little bit.
It's better to be rich than to be poor. That's what I'm gonna say here. So he would like to catch up, but it's not possible for him to play the game. Hard.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of it on his team's shoulders. But of course, if he could, he would want to have more. The problem is they're not controlling. They're just running where they think they're enemy.
Yeah. Okay, and the smoke comes out from Spirit now as well. So we might see 30 seconds left on the Aegis. Yataro might want to try and make something happen with this Marty. He's going to be the furthest one forward. Some smoke is going to break. Collapse though. He's going to get the drag by the lasso. Comes out the right place, but it's going to be the real. He's going to be able to take down Vichun, but Vichun's going to be enraged. He's got that BKB. Trying to chase down his Collapse. Collapse is getting really down low. The Rolling Thunder does come through, and Yataro, he takes down Marty. Might even be able to take down Sweet and Strong as well. They both do have buybacks out of this. He forced out a Phantasm, but again, the Aegis is going to be reclaimed, and Yataro, he's still going to be really happy with this. Everybody on the side of Team Spirit are still up, and they should be able to take down this tier 2 tower in the mid lane.
No hesitation from Navi, but just
Yeah.
that's the reality of it. Like, I liked what they did. I liked how they are dealing with the current situation. They're Collapse and even get the Lotus Orb off, and that is
VTune. VTune, he has no buyback. He's going to be dead for the next 50 seconds. Yeah, 2 minutes all the way. So, you know, a couple of bounty runes would be able to get him back in this game, but Navi just can't get themselves out of the base. And Spirit, they're going to claim at least a tier 2 tower, maybe even a lane of Brax off this.
And they're not the fastest pushers, and they'll have one fairly soon. The thing about that last fight is they caught collapse, but Viking didn't stop the BKB. I think it was potentially more jumping. After that's not connected, it was, I think, certain the collapse to survive and the fight was going to be back.
Yeah, and now, lol. I mean, he's going to be keeping himself away to push out the spot. I'm just watching the celebration there coming out from collapse as well. So, because he does have the aggro scepter up as well. So, the uproar will be putting out the projectiles, you know, the waves, the 2 splits up. And he just, you know, he gets himself out. He's going to continue to push as well, going on to this top lane now as well to apply the pressure. And you can see that Yataro, he's just going to continue. He's actually going to be going for the Mage Slayer into the Bloodstone as well, it looks like, as well, here on the Chaos Knight. Before he goes back for anything like a BKB or something like that, he's so confident in the rest of the team to be able to keep himself alive with the Phantasm there, with the AC, the Master as well, that he's not too bothered about potential stun lock coming out for Navi.
Jump someone, that hero dies, the fight is over.
Yeah.
The thing is that Navi don't have the gold necessary to have the defensive items to help there. The only one that has a way to remove it is the Visage, but he's stunned, he's not going to be able to use it. I'm liking the, you know, that is the thing. Team Spirit want to jump in, burst someone. It's what their lineup is. I don't think it's built to do, but at this point in the game, this is how you break the formation of the enemies and you destroy them completely. Naturally, let's say you get the silence into VTune and the stun, he's just gonna die without you. That's gonna be.
We'll see how they're going to make this happen here. Nicky Cool, he's got himself the Blink Dagger, he's got himself the BKB, so he's got a good option to get in. But like you say, the last time they got onto Collapse with 3k health and 28 armor. He is a big, scary beast, and it's so hard to take him down that he's definitely not the target that you want to jump. But even if he gets involved in this fight, you know, the disruption that the Primal Beast offers as well, Navi just can't deal with it at the minute.
Has the up 20 more. 53, sorry, if he has the CK. That's just 40, so without the CK. So Collapse does not die. That is kind of the conclusion. So Navi needs to find another target. So ideally it's the Pango. He has the Aeon to die. CK. CK is your target, but he's probably going to be staying behind. This is very tough for Navi. It's not like they have vision. I wouldn't want to Spirit itemized so they don't get bursted. If they don't get bursted down, they win the fight.
Well, they might try and make a jump happen here. There's going to be a top back as well. Like you say, well, he's going to be able to survive the Lotus Orb. He even comes out afterwards. He's going to be able to pop the double damage rune here now as well. Get himself on top of the tiny corner staircase. He's just to be rolled down to get the kill. And the last one does come through. But again, the Primal Beast, he can have the damage this time. He pops that BKB. He's not going to be able to take him down. And they're even going to be able to get themselves on top of Laze. And Laze not going to be able to get himself away from this one. Yatsuro gets the kill. They're going to go even further. The buybacks come through from the 2 kills on the side of Navi. And they get themselves into this fight before he goes overboard. And they take down VTune. VTune's dead. The freezing field, the celebrations comes out. They're able to find a tiny again. The stun lock coming through, and they get the kill onto Sweden Strong. Laze, he needs to get himself back in the mid, but the reality comes out. It's going to be Sal's. Collapse gets himself on top. The Pulverizer is going to be there now as well. They're just absolutely cleaning up.
That was the, you know, you can say best that Navi can hope for in terms of how the fight is going to go, how things are going to develop. You initiate from the end, you force out your support dies, you buy back. So it's 5 versus 5 still, and you're in an okay position. You haven't used your big spells. You forced out